the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, can we get a roll call, please, Cindy?
Blair.
Here.
Broughton.
Here.
Palmer.
Here.
Marshall.
Here.
Thurman.
Here.
Unruh.
Present.
Rumble.
Here. All right, looking for a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Dana. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. That brings us into our public hearing for truth and taxation. So we need a motion to open that hearing.
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
I'll support you, Rosalind.
Okay.
Thank you.
And can we get a roll call on that, please?
Blair.
Yes.
Broughton.
Yes.
Palmer.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Thurman.
Yes.
Unruh.
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. Motion carries. Is anybody here to speak on the truth and taxation? Okay, seeing none, we need a motion to close.
I will make a motion to close the public hearing for the truth and taxation.
I'll support it.
Thank you. Can we get a roll call on the close, please?
Broughton.
Yes.
Palmer.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Thurman.
Yes.
Unruh.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. Motion carries. All right, that brings us into our reports. We have the treasury report. We have the general ledger report. The designated report. The building reports. Don't see any recreation. Oh yeah, I do, sorry. Recreation report, John, you got anything to add to that?
I think there's some questions too, but Septemberfest is this Saturday, so if anyone would like to attend, please do. We're really excited about it. We do have more vendors than we did last year because we moved the date back or down to the second Saturday, so we're excited about that. So we got some vendors that we lost last year, so it's going to be a great event. Hopefully the weather holds out. And then I think you guys had some questions, or do you have a question about the food trucks?
I was just curious what food truck vendors were going to be there.
Okay. So some of these people we have from last year, so Kettle House, who does the kettle corn, which I would strongly encourage everybody, if you want kettle corn, get it early. It looks like they have a lot, but they always run out, and it's going to be a nice day. So don't wait and come back, just buy it and hang on to it or something, hide it somewhere. Bubble BT will be there, Cufella's Barbecue, Num Num Ninja, Twisted Burger, Your Food Dude. Let's see, the Green Light Vegan Food Truck and Wizard Food Truck. We also have VFW is doing hot dogs again, right over here on Pond Street. And then Hamilton's on their property, they do hamburgers, hot dogs, chips, and pop. We also are going to have a coffee truck at the car show. We just had the person that was going to do it, they had to bow out because they had a death in their family. So we got a new one, and I don't have the name for you right now, but we have a different vendor that's going to handle that. So, but that's food wise. So
Thank you, John.
we should be plenty.
Anybody else?
Any other questions?
Okay, thank you. Edna Burton Senior Center report, Faye?
Short and sweet. We are getting ready for Septemberfest. We will be providing 2 shuttles. I will be at the information booth at the corner of South and Mill. And I am making up kind of bags that's going to have information. So if you belong to an organization that wants to advertise your organization, if you can get it to me. Kind of wanted it tomorrow, but I would settle till Thursday. And we're going to pass them out. They're going to have them on the buses so the people can get them on the buses. Plus I'll have them at the information booth. It'll have stuff where the vendors are, who the vendors are, and the food trucks and the maps. So from Septemberfest, and we are going to Senior Day at the zoo tomorrow, and we have 23 people going.
Oh, cool.
Oh, it is Wednesday. I'm a day ahead. I've been a day ahead all week, and it's only Monday. So it's going to be a good crowd. So,
Thank you, Faye.
yep.
All right, trustee reports, Kathy?
Okay, I just hope everyone had an enjoyable Labor Day holiday. And none of my subcommittees met last month, but I did want to say a couple things about sewers. When I was supervisor, we looked into extending the Kersley Creek interceptor through Goodrich to Brandon Township. At that time, it was $40 million just for the section that went from Goodrich to Brandon. We were too rural to get urban funding, and we were too populated to get rural funding. So funding a sewer project is going to be our biggest hurdle. If you go to ortonvilletelevision.com and click on the Brandon Township tab and go to last year's meeting on September 11th, 2023, you'll see that the sewer presentation by you'll find the sewer presentation by Rowe Engineering. At the end of the presentation, Scott Emeyer said there was a boatload of funding available for shovel-ready projects. So my question is, can any of that funding be used for a standalone project that we could have shovel-ready in the near future, instead of waiting for a possible, depending on whether Groveland participates or not, interceptor extension that will take 6 to 10 years to get here? And has anyone followed up with Scott about the boatload of funding he was talking about? To see, and to see.
You're on the wrong part of the project. That's after it's already here. Scott's portion of the project was after it's already here and hooking the residents up to it once it's here. His part of the project was not bringing the sewer here.
Okay, but he said there was a boatload of funding, so I was just wondering if anybody investigated the funding that he was talking about, to see if that would apply to a standalone project.
Yeah, Water Resources Commission has been doing that on behalf of all the communities for over a year now.
Standalone too?
No.
That's my question. Okay, and, that's- thank you.
Steve?
So our planning commission met, it was a long, lengthy meeting regarding signage and other ordinances that we're trying to bring to the board here. So that was my one subcommittee that met. So anyway, that's it.
Thank you. Bob?
Just had the September Fest committee meeting, met twice last month, and John's pulling it all together really well. So should be a good event this year.
Thank you. Dana?
Let's see. None of my subcommittees met this month, so I didn't have anything to report on that. I've already heard Septemberfest is this weekend, but just was gonna reiterate that it's Saturday. But on Thursday night, there's gonna be food trucks in town. Beer tent is Friday and Saturday night. And then also want to just get out there that homecoming is on Friday the 27th, so there's a parade and then the game after, just so people can be prepared for that too. So that's it.
Where's the parade go?
The parade for homecoming is downtown
Okay.
on the 27th, like at 5:30, I think it usually is.
So.
Yeah. So.
All right. Thank you, Dana.
Yep.
Scott?
Well, taxes are due every year on September 14th, but September 14th is a Saturday, so you have till September 16th. After that, there's going to be 1% penalty in September, and then every month thereafter. So Monday is the 16th. That's when they're due. And they're due in our office, not postmarked, but due in our office on the 16th. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Rosalind?
Thank you for attending the meeting for Brandon Township. On August 30th, we did receive $9,350 in reimbursements from the Community Development Block Grant. That was for the deck project. The clerk's office is preparing for the upcoming general election on November 5th. We are anticipating for ballots to go out on September 26th. And we're always looking for election inspectors. If you are interested, please stop by the clerk's office for an application. And I kind of want to just say thank you to Faye. There were 2 meetings, one for the Groveland Township Board and one for the Village of Ortonville, that Faye attended on my behalf for the SMART credits. So thank you for attending those meetings. And I just wanted to kind of update the board that Brandon Township will be receiving the credits for Groveland and Village of Ortonville for the SMART credits. So we are receiving their credits.
All right, thank you. For me, just a couple things. We're almost out of this year's mosquito products. We only have a couple boxes of the Dunks left. We did receive another revenue sharing check of about $270,000. And then I hope to see everybody at Septemberfest this weekend. I'll be cooking in the Masons Lodge for the all-you-can-eat pancake breakfast, and then I'll be bartending in the beer tent for the Lions Club all day and night after Septemberfest. So stop in and say hi. That's it for me. All right, that brings us to correspondence. We have Septemberfest committee meeting minutes of August 14th, Septemberfest committee meeting minutes of August 28th, and zoning board of appeals minutes for May 22nd. And that brings us to citizens' comments on agenda items only. Please remember your time is limited to 3 minutes, and we do time that, so just please keep that in mind. Is there anybody that has any comments on agenda items? Okay, see none. There is no discussion tonight, so that brings us to the consent agenda, which has the regular meeting minutes of August 12th, regular bills in the amount of $22,764.91, prepays in the amount of $226,820.21, special meeting minutes of August 22nd.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Steve. Can we get a roll call, please?
DePalma,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. Motion carries. No unfinished business. So that brings us right to our millage rates. We have all the millage rates there, and the suggested motion is to approve the millage rates that we've already discussed a few times. Somebody like to make that motion?
I'll go ahead and make the motion to approve the 2024 millage rates as presented.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and second that. All right. Any questions? Those numbers have not changed from what we've discussed, so. All right, can we get a roll call, please, Cindy?
Marshall,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
DePalma,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes, motion carries. That brings us to a board of review appointment. If you remember last year, Jason Galt was moved to a full-time member when Jane left. So that left a spot that we did not fill. And then now we have Justin Harrell, who would like to fill that review board member alternate position. So we're looking to do that with his,
Just go on, sorry.
go ahead.
Well, I was gonna,
I just wanted to verify he was a resident of Brandon, that's all.
Nope, he's not.
Oh.
He is a business owner in Brandon, and he's been a realtor in Brandon Township for about 30 years.
Okay.
And he also serves as the backup on Independence Township's board, the same board as well.
Okay.
will there be any, the thing is you're gonna need to see, is there any crossover on their meetings, you know, for their board of reviews?
I believe they meet on a different day, because I did ask him that.
Okay.
So they don't have to be a resident of our township? Because I thought it was a board of our of your peers, or,
Nope. They don't have to be a resident. We have non-residents on ZBA and all that stuff too.
on CBA, I know we do.
Yep,
And planning commission.
and planning commission.
Yeah.
Correct.
What business does he own?
His wife is a dentist.
Okay.
And then 15. All right.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to appoint Justin Harrell to the Board of Review with his term of office ending December 31st, 2026.
Thank you.
Support.
Thank you, Bob.
And I will reach out to have him sworn in too.
Okay.
That's
Can
not
we,
part of my motion.
right. Can we get a roll call, please?
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
DePalma,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. Motion carries. And then we also need to appoint somebody to the ZBA. So this is an alternate member as well. This is not a full-time member. And Jody Hall did reach out to Stacy and me and recommended Mike Riddle. And I did speak to Mike, and Mike is willing to take that role.
And Mike still lives in the township, right?
He does. Yep.
I'll make the motion to appoint Mike Riddle as an alternate member to the Zoning Board of Appeals with his term ending December 31, 2027.
I'll second.
Thank you, Dana. Thank you, Kathy. Can we get a roll call, please?
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
De Palma,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. Motion carries. And then we have a reappointment to the ZBA. Pete Mena has been serving on the board for, I don't remember when he took out I think he's did a partial term. So, but he's up for renewal, and it's for a 3-year. So we're looking to reappoint Pete Mena to a full-time member of the ZBA. And he does live in the township.
I will make a motion to appoint Pete Mena as a member of the Zoning Board of Appeals with his new term of office beginning December 31st, 2027, or ending December 31st, 2027, sorry.
Thank you, Roz. I'll go ahead and second that.
I'll second that.
Okay, I'll let Dana do. All right, any questions on that? Can we get a roll call, please?
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
De Palma,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. Motion carries. That brings us to the first reading of the glare and exterior lighting ordinance. So you have that in front of you. So, and the motion is on there as well.
I have a question.
Okay?
Is, because usually we get the corrections in red, and is item C on here the only part that's being added or corrected?
I think the whole thing is new, from what Stuart was saying.
And I've got a larger question then based on that. What drove this? What happened?
There was an issue with some neighbors over a glaring light.
That's
I can't
correct.
hear
I mean,
you.
it was
It
a
was
big
blaring
light,
like
like a
across the
spotlight, like
Can't hear you.
over
Dana.
into other
Oh,
people's.
it was
to
a
be-
light somebody had on their house despite the neighbors, and it was glaring like all the way through neighbors' yards and across the street.
Okay.
So we discussed that in regards to even lumens and how hot a light is. I mean, my gosh, this went on for hours about lights. I learned more about lighting than I ever thought I would ever do.
You would have learned more with old Bill Dinnan because he loved he loved the lumens discussion.
Oh, I mean,
so anyway, sorry. to
yeah, it's all
interrupt
right.
you.
And it went on, but then of course I go over there and drive by there and I see what they're talking about, because if you think a porch light is misaligned and coming into that's just a regular light you got at Home Depot, kind of is bothersome. Imagine when you went over to this place and they had like the bat signal, just to light it up, and you're like, you got to make an ordinance. So you got to think about, you go through all this and you wonder, why did we think we'd go through this? And you always wonder, if you go back to even corporate, like, why did somebody make a policy about this? Because somebody abused it for purposes of just being annoying. So that's what this came out of.
So this originated with the planning commission then.
That's correct. Somebody came in, and then the ordinance officer had to go out, and there was like this light.
It was basically retaliation to a lawsuit.
Exactly, yeah, right. So,
So Steve, maybe is this just the addition of C, the residential lighting standards, because B is the industrial and commercial uses?
so I would like to answer your question. The ordinance book is this thick.
Yeah.
I did not, when I took the position, I didn't memorize all of it, but I know we did talk about lumens, and I know we talked about the heat lights and everything else. No, I don't know how to answer that question.
No, yeah, because normally, to your point, when they are changes, Stuart usually gives us the red line version too, and there
Right.
was not one with this, so that's what makes me believe it's all new.
Right, because we did a lot with it. It took a long time, but there was a lot to go over, and they were using it from, apparently we're not the only municipality, township that has this problem. And they're trying to wrangle in another one, so we were able to borrow from other people to bring it in, so that's why. And then you had to get the history on that, so. Anyway, not a riveting conversation, but a necessary one. So, we don't want to be signaling, using the township as a marker for when the International Space Station goes by. but I'll make the motion to introduce for the first reading the revised glare and exterior lighting ordinance, chapter 46, article 9, section 46-421, code of ordinances for the charter township of Brandon, Oakland County, and Oakland County, Michigan, as presented.
Thank you. Thank you, Kathy. I think Kathy was first on that. All right, any additional questions? All right, can we get a roll call, please?
Broughton,
Yes.
De Palma,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. Motion carries.
So now this goes in the,
It'll come back for second reading.
right, does it go in the paper now
Yeah.
between the two is what happens, and then it comes back for second reading?
Next time when this comes to the board, are we gonna have the red line, though?
I'll ask Stuart if there is one.
Okay.
Yeah, if we could get that,
I
that'd be
think
great.
that would be easier for us to vote on if it shows what's been added or removed.
Right.
Yep. And
You want
like
the
I said, he
glaring-
normally gives that, but he did not this time, so. I
You want
assumed
the
it was
glaring light? Was there something difficult?
No, I don't. I just.
I'm not
as
sure if I
far
want
as
glaring
just-
light.
No, but I just think anytime there's changes, it's kind of helpful
You're
to see
right,
those.
Rosalind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that brings us to our Minetrix contract renewal. There was a typo originally, so your new one is on your desk. It just needs to say November 1st of 2024. So we're looking to renew at the 3-year renewal rate, which is on the back. So that is the $10,065.
Okay,
So-
because that answers my question, because there's actually two options.
Yeah, but if you read it, it says 3-year contract. This is year by year.
Right. But it's 3 years, year by year.
Yeah.
So just to verify, it's the $10,065 one.
Yep.
The updated copies that you guys had, does that still say 21, or did you guys actually get updated?
No,
Okay.
it's
So
the
it
same.
says
Okay.
21.
Stacy reprinted the wrong one because
Yeah,
I emailed
think
it to
so.
her.
But the only thing, with
That's all it was, is
Yeah.
November 1 of 24 was
Yeah.
the only change
okay.
in the first sentence.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go ahead and make the motion to approve the Minetrix 3-year contract renewal as presented, which is option 2 on your back there.
And then, did you want the code to go over?
Oh, and yeah, we can add, I'll add the general ledger number, which is 101-272-801-000.
I will second that motion.
All right. Any other discussion? No? Okay. Cindy, can we get a?
And
oh,
option 2 is in the motion, right?
I don't know
Yes.
what the
Said
problem is
option two.
delineating. It says 3-year contract right there.
No,
That
no,
says
you-
annual increases. It's not, what's the point? Good lord. Okay.
She just had a question, Jason.
I know, and I answered it already. All right, can we get a roll call, please?
De Palma,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. Motion carries. All right, and Rosin, that brings us to the last item on the agenda.
Okay, so, I don't know if you want one of those. Pass a few down. You wanna pass those down? So what I just passed out is showing, so I have a resolution, that Stuart kind of put together. There was 2 ordinances. One of them, we were trying to codify within Municode. However, they were gonna have a hard time codifying them, because the numbering was off. So I highlighted for what the ordinance is, and then it's adding a number 4 to that. Where before, there's no way that we could have had the same numbering. They have
Gotcha.
to be different numbering.
Okay.
And so we are just correcting, those ordinances.
All right. I'll make the motion to approve the resolution titled Correction of Publication and Typographical Errors in Ordinances 184-21 and 185-21 as presented.
And then I do have also the other one, so the one I passed out was for 184, and this is for 185, if you guys want those. I didn't know if you guys wanted them or not. just to kind of show what we were doing with changing. Ordinances.
All right, does anybody want to second the motion?
I'll second the motion.
Any other questions? All right, can we roll call, please?
Marshall,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Conrad,
Yes.
Ware,
Yes.
Broutman,
Yes.
DePalma,
Yes.
Lundy.
Yes, motion carries. All right, that brings us to citizens' comments on anything, and
Did
please,
we do both of those at the same time?
yes, they were both in the motion. Yep. And please remember, time is limited to 3 minutes, so does anybody have anything they would like to comment on?
Diane Burley, 330 Sleepy Hollow.
Diane, what was your last name?
Burley, Burley. So I watched the minutes from the August Township Board meeting, and I was a little bit surprised to hear that a lot of you weren't aware of what was going on Sleepy Hollow, when myself and my neighbors have been continually emailing the board. We were also asked not to CC any of the board members on the emails. So I would assume that our supervisor was informing the board of what we've been going through. So with all that being said, I know that this is a state issue. We've worked with our state representatives for years on this. There's been 5 more incidences since the last board meeting. 2 assault and batteries, trespassing, screaming, threatening, and that's all I know of. There could be more. My question is, there was a special board meeting on June 20th, 2019, where you went into closed session with the township lawyer, Stewart, to go over the lawsuit that Flat Rock brought against the township. When that was concluded, Bob came out and sat and talked with myself, my husband, and a few of the other neighbors and said that you guys were settling the lawsuit and that it would be in our best interest to settle the lawsuit with Flat Rock so that you could put in certain areas in there prohibiting sex offenders, prohibiting parolees, prohibiting criminals. So what happened to that? Can't you, being that this was part of an agreement you had with the plaintiff, can't you enforce that? I know there's so many other things that you can't enforce because it's on the state level. But this Wyatt gentleman who just recently on August 5th tried to enter my neighbor's home and assaulted an officer, he was arrested. That's a criminal record. He was removed for 3 days. He is back now on our street. In 3 of these 5 incidences, he was involved in that. So that's my question. Where's the recourse with the agreement that you had with him, if there's any help? Thank you.
Is Wyatt his last name or first name?
First name.
First name, okay.
And I would also like to question, I'm not sure what happened and why the other residents on Saddle Lane left and what was supposed to happen at this meeting, because there's 4 of us right here that have no clue of what that was even about. And it was changed and moved, so I would like an explanation as to what was supposed to occur here tonight.
I can answer that. Because they had contacted us and they had concerns about how the sheriff's department handled it. And so I called Pam, I think is who I talked to, and let her know that, because we were going to have a special discussion with Lieutenant Glover. Okay, Lieutenant Glover called me and said, I can't make it to this meeting. So I called Pam back and told her, there's not going to be a meeting because Lieutenant Glover can't make it. So that's.
So was this in regards to the attempted break-in at her house then?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for clarifying.
I had no idea.
Anybody else? Yeah.
Hi, my name's Dave Burley. I live at 330 Sleepy Hollow. Couple points I want to point out before I say what I really got to say. 40% of, the Sleepy Hollow homes are group homes. That sure seems like over concentration. They're supposed to be, per the MCL, I think it's 125.3206, should be 1,500 feet between two adult foster care facilities.
Can you repeat that number for me, please?
Sure. MCL 125.3206.
3206. And it says how many feet?
That says 1,500. I've found some other ones that said 500, but
I think I remember
and
reading about that.
those two properties share a line. So, and we brought that up the first time around, so I know, not just Township, I know state's involved, just like my wife said, but that was a total hoodwink right there by Nick Burnett and his team. But it still seems like there could be something done about that. Also, that legal agreement, there was an agreement about no advertisement. But I mean, you hit your Google Maps on your phone, you're gonna see giant letters, Flat Rock Manor East, Flat Rock Manor West. So I mean, if anybody wants to sell their home, they're gonna have troubles. And when I came here to talk to them about it in the township, they said, well, you don't have to divulge all the information. Well, sure, I can sit in the back room and hoodwink somebody else. I mean, that's how you run the township. Just hoodwink the next guy, because that's what you did to these people, not you. Sorry. That's what was done to these people, and that's what was done to my new next door neighbors. They moved in. How many of you, when you bought your house, walked around and said, hey, are there group homes next to you? I'm guessing 0. Because you already
I
heard
did.
about it. Yeah, well, I will next time too. So, so on the night of, it was 9/5/24, just a few weeks ago, myself and my neighbor Costa were videotaping an escalating violent situation at the group home. Involved Wyatt, where he was getting at it. He was yelling at somebody else how he was going to kill him. And we were, we're 500 feet away, and all of a sudden this guy comes walking all the way across the yard, and he says, you fucking bitches and you fucking diggers, you better not call the cops at us. That's aggression. You walk 200 feet. I Google mapped his path the other night just to see how far
That
it
was Wyatt that said that?
Yeah. That's 200 feet, you coming towards me to threaten me. That's aggression. And then the workers were following him, one of them, and all he was doing was yelling in the background, as he was heading towards us, go ahead and beat him up, I dare you, he'll just end up back in jail. But he's not doing anything to restrain him. And the problem with me or Costa or anybody saying something like that is, last time I called the cops, it was 5 years back. Everybody was out front, saw me call the cops. The next day, my barn gets ripped off. So there's retaliation that comes our way from this group home stuff. In March 2023, group home resident tried to enter my house. My wife called me, so now I got to go home from work. I don't know, but I get pretty busy. I'm retired now, just as of a couple months ago, but I was working 65 hours a week. So to come home to protect the house from the neighbor, because Flat Rock Manor consistently shows blatant disregard for the safety of anybody in order to make money, that's a real problem for me. October 2023, again, tried to enter the back door, the door wall, trying to get it open. So I ran out and yelled at him, chased him away, told him to get out of my yard. I didn't know how he was going to react, but I can't go running out there with my hunting rifle and blow his head off, so I just had to run out there empty-handed and say, hey, get out of here. So he went across the lot, jumped over into Costa, my neighbor's yard, broke his back sliding door, went in with his 1-year-old son sitting right there. And now they have a 2-year-old son with maybe a week-old little girl. And this is the kind of crap they gotta put up with, and nobody does anything about it. So you're leaving us no choice but to wait till he comes into our house and then do something. Because nobody's gonna do nothing
Time's
about it.
expired, sir. I gave you an extra 2 minutes.
Put some time back on the play clock, because I'm not done.
Well, the time is
I'm not
expired,
done.
sir.
I paid my
Your time is
taxes out
done,
of my
sir.
back
Your
pocket. I
time
think
is
that
done.
pays part of your check. I'm not
Your
done.
time is done.
I'm not done.
You've had an extra 2 minutes. Your time is done.
I'm not done.
Sir, your
There's
time is done.
more. There's more.
Okay, the next phone call is going to the sheriff's office
Good.
to have you removed.
Good, because you know what? Nothing's been done about this for 5
It
years.
has been done.
No,
Everything that
no.
we can do has been done.
Nothing's
I
been
understand your frustration and I sympathize with that, but there is nothing that we can do. I didn't tell anybody not to email me. I've only got one email and it's from Costas. I've not got an email from anybody else.
Yeah, we got the same email tickets, so.
Okay. Is there anybody else that would like to speak on the matter? Or any matter? Okay, seeing none. Any additional board comments tonight, Kathy?
Looking forward to a good September Fest event. Happy September.
Steve?
No, sir.
Bob?
Given what was brought up tonight, I think we need to revisit our previous agreement with, what's the name of the, Flat Rock?
With Burnett.
And I know we had some sort of agreement that,
We had a consent agenda.
yeah, limited what they could have, or who they could have in there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that seems to have been gone by the wayside, so we need to revisit that. And I'm not sure if Stuart would have the paperwork for that.
He's got it.
I'm
It's
sure he
just
would.
many portions of it are not enforceable. But we can ask Stuart to look at it again. But
All right.
that's what he told us when he was here last time. But I don't have any problem doing that.
Yeah, please do.
Dina?
I agree. I was involved back when we did the stuff with Flat Rock, and I think we should look into, now that this guy's a criminal, trying to get our agreement enforced with them. I do recall the MCL 125. I still have a bunch of my stuff from what I did last time, and all the research I spent and the time I spent, so I'm going to look that up again too, but I recall reading it. I just don't remember what I found when we read it. Yeah. I had no idea anything about a meeting tonight with Lieutenant Glover. I just want to make that clear, so I don't know what happened there.
That was on me.
Okay. And then, but yeah, I'd like to rediscuss it, and I'd like to be able to talk to, Stuart at least too, since I was involved back when we went to the state and everything. So, and I hope everyone has a good time if they attend September Fest. Please do. John's worked hard on it this year.
Thank you, Dina. Scott?
Yeah, a couple things. Septemberfest, don't forget the Historical Society down the Old Mill. They're having the pie eating contest, pie baking contest. So we're down the road a little bit, but don't forget about us down there. There's a lot going on. They'll have the blacksmith shop going, and there's tours in the museum. And then secondly, anything on Sleepy Hollow / Saddle Lane, you can copy me. There's no reason that you can't copy the board. There's no reason. So please copy me in the future, because I see things maybe a little bit later. I did see a most recent one a couple days ago. But yeah, there's no reason you can't copy us. We're just not supposed, Freedom of Information Act just requires that we don't email each other and have discussions out of public view, but you can copy all of us on any emails.
Yeah, because I had no idea, like, last month that there was, like, that video out there, and I got my first, I hadn't seen
I
any
still
of that
haven't seen
until
the video.
August.
None of
Yeah,
us
If
knew
you wanna
that
send me a
except for
link,
Bob,
I-
so.
yeah, and then I just got my first 2 emails just in the past month or so about this. Like, I knew that there's issues, but I didn't realize it's, like, gone to this extreme again.
Well, I know I'm gonna go up to the state level. I know there's only so much you can do.
Right,
Just wanted to make the
right.
I was just trying to finish
Rosalind?
them.
I'm kind of new to the board and dealing with this, but I do agree with everybody else that I think it's worth looking into. I do apologize that you guys have to go through that. That's probably very frustrating. I also wanted to mention that I did attend a planning commission meeting last month. They kind of went over it quite a bit. I was very impressed with our planning commission. I think they do a really good job. The meetings are ran very well, and the information that they're diving into and the detail that they're looking at, it kind of just makes it, like, I'm more confident, like, approving things, knowing how much work they put into their board meetings and very thorough. So I just wanted to pass that along to the board. So they do a great job, and then I hope to see everyone at September Fest.
Okay, thank you. For me, I will just say I will bring that up to Stuart again. I have asked him that recently, but he has told me some things, and I will, most likely that's gonna have to be a closed session, I'm assuming, so that'll probably be next month's meeting. And then I will see what his opinion is on that to be able to do that, so we should do that for sure. All right, and nothing else, we're looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Dana.
Support.
Thank you, Bob. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.